So this is homework week 10 for MrReedMaths Maths group, and actually it's a slightly different homework to what we've done so far. What I actually want you to do is go back and correct homework 9 by watching this video. I'll show you how to do all of homework 9, and I want you to correct everything in purple using the answers and the working out that I show you now. Now that is different to marking that homework. I have already marked that homework for you. You're not marking it, you're actually correcting the mistakes in purple. And I have given each student a piece of paper that's got PPP corrections written as the title, and that needs to be the place where you do those purple pen corrections. So I don't want you to necessarily write all over your homework because it's difficult to see what's corrections and what isn't. So I'd like you to actually do the corrections on the PPP sheet, and that will then be sellotaped or glued over your homework or somewhere near your homework. You'll also notice from this this video that it says part 1 of 2. So there's actually 2 videos because it's too long to do all in one video. So there's 2 parts, so you do need to watch this, correct the first part of your homework, then watch the second part of the video, which you should be able to find on YouTube, and correct the second part of the homework. There's something else to point out as well. I'm actually giving you this homework on a Thursday and it's due in on Tuesday, and that's the new routine for our class. We're not collecting homework on a Friday anymore. All my homework is due in on different days just to make it easier to mark, and so actually I will be handing out homework out on a Thursday, in on a Tuesday. And if you think about the 3 strike rule, strike 1 would be Friday, strike 2 Monday, and the 3rd strike, the final deadline, is Tuesday, and that's Tuesday of next week. Okay, so let's get on with it. That's the instructions sorted, so you're going to correct the homework. I'm going to go nice and quick. If you need to rewind it and listen again to what I say, because I do speak quite fast, that's fine. But we don't want to have a really long video, so let's get on with it. Calculate. Now, one of the things some students did wrong on this work was to not show the working out. I'm going to show my working out right now. I'm going to write fractions like this. If you've got the target to show your method, well, there's the method, and I need to multiply my numerators and I need to multiply my denominators together like that. And actually, the answer to this question is relatively simple. You just need to do 12 times 14 and you get 168. So that's going up there. Now you could do that using column method or some multiplication method of your choice, but I'm just telling you the answer there. And then that goes there, 100. Now I've got the question 168 divided by 100, which is 1.68. To be clear about this, some students just wrote this down and nothing else. This method that I'm highlighting here is what I really wanted from you. Let me show you the method on the second question. Same idea, fractions, 7/10 divided by 7/100. And I'm going to use the technique keep, change, flip, and then multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators, and then answer the question. 700 divided by 70 is 10. I'm going to run out of space here, so I'm just going to move down there for this question. MrReedMaths time. Now I need to do 0.12 squared. Now 0.12 is 12 hundredths. So I'm going to square that, times it by itself like that. Doing that first, that's there. And then it does say times by 100, so I'll times by 100 in a minute. Now there's a clever little trick you can do here. One of these hundreds on the bottom will cancel out with that 100 there. And that just makes the question easier, because then I've just got 12 times 12 is 144 on the top. And you'll notice I've still got 100 on the bottom that I haven't used yet, so I've got that. And then end up with 1.44 if I just do 144 divided by 100. So that's that done. Let's go down here for this one. 0.3 squared, well that's fraction time, 3/10 times 3/10 again. Using MrReedMaths, I'll do that bit first. Then it says subtract, and if I just point at this, I'm going to take away whatever this is. Now I can just do this bit now, just work out what this is. 0.2 divided by 10 is 0.02. So I'll just write that in. And then MrReedMaths tells me to do the multiply before I do the subtract. So if I do the multiply, well 3 times 3 is 9. And then 10 times 10 is 100. So I've got 9 hundredths minus 2 hundredths. Think about it, that's 9 hundredths minus 2 hundredths, which is 7 hundredths, which is written like that, 0.07. And then the last one is a trick. I'll tell you why it's a trick. because 0.1 cubed is 0. Oops, a bit messy that. Let's do that again. 0.001. That's 0.1 cubed. And it says to times that by 1,000. Now, if you do that, you actually get 1. And then you do power 7 in a minute. So the inside of the brackets is just 1 to the power 7. That means 1 times 1 times 1 7 times, which is actually 1. So that question's a trick. Some of you thought 1 times to the power 7 was something to do with 7 or 7,000 or something like that. It isn't. It just means times 1 by itself 7 times. And there was some really quite wild answers from some students in the group there. Look at how I've done it. 0.1 cubed is 0.001. Times it by 1,000. So it says there you get 1 to the power 7. So that's the end of that question. If we move along, let's quickly get on. Expanding and simplifying. Multiplying here, I'll show you what I'm multiplying. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 2 is 6. Multiply here, 14x. Multiply there, minus 21. I've got 4 things to do here. 8x, multiplying. Multiply, 2. Multiply, 7x. Multiply, 14. And it does actually say simplify at the end, so I need to collect my x's together. And I need to collect my numbers together, so I've done that there. The next one involves a little bit of thought. Multiply, 5x, easy so far. 5 times minus 7 is actually minus 35. There's a little place that some people went wrong. Minus 3 times x is minus 3x. This is the bit where people went wrong, be careful. Minus 3 times minus 2 is plus 6. So that plus there is important. And then it says simplify, so I'll collect the x's first of all. 5x minus 3x is 2x. That's the easy bit. And then we've got minus 35. Let's have a look at this. Minus 35 add 6, which is actually minus 29. So that's the answer to that question. Let's move on to question 3. Factorise. They both divide by 3. 3 on the outside. And it has to be that on the inside, x plus 7 for it to work. These both divide by 7. 7 on the outside. Must be x plus 4 on the inside. On question C, I did tell you already that it divides by 4x, so that must be x plus 5y on the inside there. Now, that's the end of the one bracket factorisations. On questions D and beyond, you need to think what multiplies to make 6 and adds to make 5 here. So that first one's not too bad. It's just going to be multiplies to make 6 and adds to make 5 is going to be 2 and 3. Now the next one is the same technique but all minuses, and I'll tell you why it's all minuses. It's all minuses because it's got to multiply to make 6 but add to make minus 5. And I did say in class if this sign is a plus that these signs have to match. Look, it's a plus, so the signs are both plus. It's a plus, the signs are both minus because there's a minus here. Now in the questions below, when there's a minus at the end of the question, what you have to actually do is have a mixture of signs in your brackets. So if I was to write that out, I would put a plus in one bracket and a minus in the other. That, I know that's a fact because there's a minus 6 in the question. If I fill in the rest of it like this. Now I'm just going to talk about how to do this last little bit. It's got to multiply to make minus 6 and add to make minus 1. The only pair of numbers I can think of that make that work are going to be 2 and minus 3. And the other one, the final question, look, it has to add to make plus 1. So I can achieve that by swapping around my numbers, and that will work. That is the end of the first bit of the homework. Now, there is some more questions, and they're going to be coming up in video 2 of 2, and so you'll need to watch that to fix the rest of your homework. So that's it for now.